Hi everyone, in this video today I'm going to go through some of the questions that I get asked quite a lot from people when I've told them I work as a probation officer, from you guys on Instagram and from you guys on TikTok. So I thought, what, no better place than to answer it here in a proper full-length video on YouTube. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Sarah Edwards and I worked as a probation officer. And I now share videos for people who want to know more about the role in a more realistic way than what is out there at the moment on the MOJ websites and everything like that. Everything can be quite text heavy, and when you're completely new to the field, you just want someone to break it down in a normal way. So that's what I'm here for. I'm a psychology and criminology tutor and coach. So I tutor students and graduates who are currently studying for psychology and criminology, specifically forensic psychology. So if you want to know more about my programs, head over to the links below. I also coach people like you who want to get into the probation officer career, because why do things alone, you know? So thank you for joining. If you're joining new or you haven't yet subscribed, go. I'll give you time now. Click subscribe. Okay, so today's video, like I said, I'm going to go through some of the questions that I get asked quite a bit from you guys. So first, there was a time when I didn't know about the probation job either. I didn't know what it was, what it entailed. So I feel like I'm in a similar position that you are all in at the moment, where you're wondering, okay, what actually does probation officer want to do? Like, if I'm going to go for a career, I actually want to know what it is. One thing I noticed when you do this job for a long time, when you talk to people, when you meet people, when I'm talking about it online, is that we have a tendency to be drawn into the fears that we hear in the media, on TV, in the news. You know, we get drawn into the crime stories that we hear, local Facebook people telling crimes that have happened to them, all the crime dramas and all of that, the drama of it, the hype of it. So one of the common questions I get asked is, don't you get scared working with people like that? So that's what I'm going to answer today. Do I get scared working with people who have committed serious crimes? You know, people that have committed murder, rape, violent offences, people that have done really quite horrible things to other people. Do you get scared as a probation officer? And it's, I can understand why people think that, why you guys are asking that, because you want to feel safe when you go into a job. And one thing that the media does and loves to do is make us feel scared, make us feel fearful, make us feel like the world is not a nice place to be in. Now, many of you might have studied psychology, criminology, sociology, and this is why those subjects are really good groundings for coming into careers like probation officer, because as you learn about those subjects, particularly how social constructions are created, so that's people's views, perceptions, beliefs, you learn about the media and how the media portrays things and how that affects society. You really have to have that grounding behind you to really get that perspective and help you actually feel safe in this job and help you actually treat people, as human beings. Of you that ask, do I need to have previous experience with certain degrees? I would say for those reasons, yes, because it just gives you that extra layer of awareness and perspective taking, and helps you actually put into account the fear society that we live in and how that contributes to the whole picture of working as a probation officer. So, do I get scared? That is what I'm trying to say, is the media makes you feel like these are the people that you're working with are completely different people in society, like they're completely different kind of person. It's that argument, are criminals born or made? Me personally, they are made. Nobody is born, you know, I've had babies myself, I've been around a lot of babies. Nobody is born with these qualities that make them commit these behaviours. It's all born out from our experiences, our environment, how we've been brought up, how we relate to other people, the different care that we've been given, the different society that we grow up in. So again, understanding that context helps you when you come into this job. So I'm not going to lie, there have been times where I have felt uncomfortable around someone, but I've never felt in fear of my life or safety. I would say probably 2 or 3 times I have felt uncomfortable to the point where I've needed to exit the interview room with that particular person. And when you are working as a probation officer, you invite them into the interview room. There are cameras, there are panic alarms, there are ways that you can sit. So the probation officer will always sit towards the door so you can exit quickly, so you're not backed into a corner. Receptionists will know where you are because they sign a particular person in that's coming to see you, and they will see you go into that room with them and tick it off, oh yeah, you're with that person. We also now have mobile phones as well. So I personally have felt safe in those environments. The next thing I want you to think about when you are thinking of a job as a probation officer, you are taking on, especially in the UK, if it's the US, I don't know, go and watch someone else's channel because they have weapons, body armour and all of that. But here in the UK, it's more of a caring perspective in that we are here to help that person. Even if that person may not perceive it as that, that is what we are here for. Yes, we're here to protect future victims, protect the public, but we do that in a more caring way. So that means that our interview rooms are set up where it's, you know, we have a chair, we have a desk, we may have our laptops these days, but yeah, we wouldn't carry weapons, we wouldn't have tasers, things like that. So we're not, it's the environment that we set up, like there's no bodyguards or anything like that, we're not restraint trained. It's a very different environment from prison where you're in a uniform. You know, it's those things, if you're in a uniform, if there's doors with locks on them and high partitions, that environment already creates that setup of power imbalance. Whereas I find in the probation offices, they try as much as possible to make it really neutral and more inviting for that person. So that helps the physical environment. And the way that you are trained to think about this person has committed these offences based on previous behaviours, like I've mentioned a minute ago, previous upbringing. There's going to be, you want to be the kind of person that is able to understand that there are reasons this person is here. So that creates that kind of, a lot of it is about relationship building. You want to build a relationship with that person, that they trust you, that they feel comfortable around you, that they talk with you, because that is the only way you're going to make meaningful change with someone. So you don't really get that fear dynamic. Yes, sometimes you may piss people off. People are going to receive what you're telling them, they're going to feel uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to tell them things about their behaviour that they don't like, or maybe you've said something and they've heard it through the lens of their own mind and their own storytelling. So again, you have to be very self-aware with how you can trigger them, and very self-aware about how they may trigger you. we are human beings too, with a past, with experiences about how we've been brought up, how we've interacted with the world, how we are in relationships. So you may be triggering each other, and I would say you get that feeling more than feelings of being like fearful and afraid for your safety. I have known probation officers to have their windows smashed, their doors smashed. That does happen. I haven't actually seen it personally happen, but it does happen. So I'm not saying these things don't happen. They're just quite rare, and it's not really the majority of the job. So if you ever find yourself wondering if this is going to be a fearful job and it's putting you off, really think about actually where is that story, where is that narrative coming from, and what actually is the reality. It's not saying that you don't have to factor this in, but it's not a large proportion of your job, your role, your responsibility. Most people, when you're in the interview with them, as you are building and developing that relationship, they have to be there. So a lot of people know, well, they'll either be like, well, let me just get this over and done with, not really say much, not really, expand much, okay, fine. And then you get some people that are like, okay, yeah, I'm here, let me make the most out of it. It's rare that you will get someone where you feel in fear of your safety. How can you deal with that if it happens? Yes, it does happen. Exit the interview room as soon as you can. Ring the panic alarm. Inform reception. We specifically don't work alone like in the evenings. So like we have a cut-off time. So we normally close the offices at 5. Even if we have late nights, we wouldn't be in the probation office on our own. Kind of the main message I want you to get across is to just know that it is a safe job, and maybe start questioning, why is it that we think this is a fearful job? Why is it that we think that these people who have committed violent offences, some really nasty offences, they are not always and in every situation going to be mean and violent, and that's the complexities of people. Like, think about people that you may know or that you've worked with in the past. They are not in every situation going to be violent and aggressive, and this is a part of getting to know the person that you're working with. You'll get to know, okay, what thing tends to trigger them, tends to push their buttons that get them more violent and aggressive. So maybe when you need to deliver them some uncomfortable news, you deliver it in a way that fits how they've responded to things in the past. So it's really is a people person job, in that you have to be self-aware about yourself and aware of how the other person responds to things, how they've responded to things in the past. Is it the best time to tell them this particular thing? Is it the best time to address this? Does it maybe need to be addressed with another person there? It's all about not being so black and white, or treating everyone as just bundle them up as they're people that have committed crimes, but see them as an individual, and how can you tailor your interactions to that person. So thank you for those of you that ask this. Let me know your thoughts below, let me know. And if you have come across my channel and you thought, yeah, I've come across here because I want to be a probation officer, or as you're watching these videos you're thinking, yeah, I could do that job, but you're just not sure how, maybe you've found that you're not getting into the probation officer trainee program, have a look at my other videos, because I've gone into lots of depth about what a probation officer is, other jobs that you can do in probation. And if you're finding that you really want that extra support, I have lots of resources available. So I have an ebook available that can help you navigate how to get into these careers. I also have my own book out, Success on Probation, a step-by-step system to reform your life and release yourself from your mental jail. So this is going to help you develop confidence, work on your mindset, work on your self-beliefs, work on your self-awareness that I've been talking about, and it'll help you with your well-being as well as you are coming into the job, as you are in the job as well. And then I also have my coaching program where I help students, graduates, people who are changing career, actually navigate the application process, interview process, and so many of you have actually been successful just by watching my videos, but lots of you have been successful from being on my coaching program as well. So make sure that you have a look at my resources that are in the links below and check out my other videos too.